Hi everyone, very good evening. Welcome back to our study classes. I hope you all are doing well. Your preparation is also going well for the upcoming examination. So guys, today also we have a session on marketing management MCQs. There are few more important questions on marketing management as in the previous year of Karnataka Assistant Examination. So those questions we are going to discuss in today's session, and the discussion is again relevant for both commerce and management aspirants, right? And I request everyone to actively participate in the session, share your answers in the live chat so that I come to know how much you are prepared for your examination, right? So let's start with today's session. Here we have first question on our screen. Feature of an organization that is perceived as desirable and different from its competitors is known as option A, brand image, option B, preferential advantage, option C, differential advantage, option D, market advantage. You have to select an appropriate term from the given options for this particular question. Which term refers to the feature of an organization that is perceived as desirable and different from its competitors? If an organization is providing to their customers something different from their competitors, then what type of advantage that organization is having? Should we call it as brand image or preferential advantage or differential advantage, or is it a market advantage? Yes, guys, share your answers. So correct answer for this particular question is option C, that is differential advantage. Why differential advantage? Because differential advantage occurs when a product or service of a particular firm or a particular organization is different from its competitor's product or service, then this refers to differential advantage. For example, the product or the service which is being offered by an organization is having advanced technology, patent protected, superior personnels are approaching, strong brand identity of that particular organization. If there's all drivers are there in a particular product or service which is being offered by an organization, then ultimately that organization got an differential advantage, right? So if a product is somewhat different in any way it is superior than the competitor's product, then the ultimately product or service is perceived as superior and desirable by the customer. And the question stated the same: feature of an organization that is perceived and desirable and different from its competitors is known as, this refers to differential advantage, right? Now if I talk about the meaning of brand image is simply about how customer thinks of a brand, how he perceives a particular brand in his mind, how he feels about a particular brand, right? And that image of a brand develops over time with the experience, with the usage of product in the mind of the customer, what experience he she gained while using a product, or even any interaction with the product or with the brand also helps in developing a brand image of an organization. So brand image is simply the current view of a customer about a particular organization, right? Then preferential advantage. Preferential advantage refers to those characteristics any customer wants to have in a good or service to make it preferable. This could be the level of happiness, a degree of satisfaction, utility from a product, etc. And market advantage occurs when you are a market leader of that particular industry. And in this question, we are talking about that a particular firm or industry is different from its competitors, from its rivalries, then this refers to differential advantage, right? So correct answer is option C. Yes, now moving to the next question. The strategy of an organization treating its total market as single segment is called option A, concentration strategy, option B, mass market strategy, option C, universal market strategy, option D, in-depth market strategy. Very easy question. This question is related to the levels of segmentation, or you can say the strategies that to be followed to target the customers or target the market. So you have to tell me which strategy treats the total market as a single segment. Is it concentration strategy? Is it mass market strategy? Universal market strategy or in-depth market strategy? Very good guys, share your answers. क्या आंसर होने वाला है इस क्वेश्चन का? So correct answer for this particular question is option B, that is mass market strategy. Many of you have given the correct answer. Very good, guys. Absolutely. Mass market strategy is when the whole market, when the total market is considered as a single segment. That means when firms decide to ignore the market segment differences, that strategy referred to as mass market strategy. There is a single segment, the whole market is considered as a single segment. That is why it is also known as single segmentation. With this strategy, firms tries to reach the large customers, mass market, aggregate of the customers. That is why it is also known as aggregate marketing strategy and undifferentiated marketing strategy. So with this strategy, firms tries to reach large customers. That is why they offer standardized product for total market, for a single segment, and single offer is there, single marketing mix is there, single marketing program is there. Mass distribution done and mass distribution and production is there, which results in lower price and higher margins. So mass market strategy is clear to you. Acha, I hope that you are very well aware of the 4 levels of segmentation. First is mass marketing strategy, which is also known as undifferentiated marketing. ये तो हमने clear कर लिया. Second is differentiated marketing strategy. A differentiated marketing strategy is when we divide the total market into different segments, and those different segments serves with a different products and corresponding different marketing mix, right? Third is concentrated marketing strategy, which is also known as niche marketing strategy and focus marketing strategy. So when under different market segments, if we focus on one specific segment having unique characteristics, needs and preferences, and according to the needs, unique characteristics, unique preferences, special products being produced and offered to that particular specific segment with a single marketing program, with a single marketing mix, that refer to as concentrated marketing strategy or focus marketing strategy. And the last level is the micro marketing strategy. Micro marketing strategy is also known as customized marketing strategy or local marketing strategy. Micro marketing strategy has a narrow base than the niche marketing strategy, right? So I hope all the marketing strategies are clear to you. But in this question, we are talking about when the total market is considered as a single segment. Single segmentation we are talking about, this referred to as mass market strategy. Now let's move to the next question. This question is again from the topic market segmentation. So question is market segmentation based on attributes related to how a people thinks, feels and behaves is called. Option A, psychological segmentation. Option B, psychographic segmentation. Option C, lifestyle segmentation. Option D, personality segmentation. Again, a very easy question. You are given with the different attributes in the question, how a person thinks, feels and behaves. So if a market is segment on the basis of these factors, on the basis of the customer's thinking, on the basis of the customer's opinion, customer's viewpoint, then this refers to which type of segmentation? Is it psychological segmentation, psychographic segmentation, lifestyle segmentation or personality segmentation? Very easy question. Share your answer, guys. क्या आंसर होने वाला है? So answer to this question is going to be option B, that is psychographic segmentation. There are 4 bases of market segmentation. First is geographic, second is demographic segmentation, third is psychographic segmentation and fourth is behavioral segmentation. So if the market is segmented on the basis of these factors, these attributes like interest of the customer, opinion of the customers, customer's personality, customer's lifestyle, attitude, values, then this referred to as psychographic segmentation. So in this question, the attributes given are how person thinks, that means what are their opinion, what they feel about the particular product, how they behave is called psychographic segmentation, right? If the market is segment on the basis of age, gender, sex, family, education, income, then this referred to as demographic segmentation. And if the market is segmented on the basis of countries, nations, state, region, cities, neighborhoods, that means geographic basis पे अगर segmentation हो रही है, that refers to as geographic segmentation. And if the segmentation is on the basis of user status, usage range, benefits sought, occasions, loyalty, then this referred to as behavioral segmentation. Attitude about the product, right? यहाँ पे क्या होगा? Attitude about the product, then this referred to as behavioral segmentation. Now let's move to the fourth question. Dash is the process of differentiating a firm's products and services to promote environmental responsibility. Option A, social branding. Option B, eco branding. Option C, environmental leadership. Option D, market leadership. What should we call to that process if firms differentiating its product and services to promote environmental responsibility? Yes, guys, so we call this process as eco branding. Eco branding is that marketing approach, is that marketing tool which is used by the companies to offer their product and services with that type of marketing strategies or process which are not harmful to the environment, which are not harmful to the society. So that branding design processes, that branding strategies which are eco friendly, your products packaging is eco friendly, eco conscious, environment sustainable, going green, recyclable in nature, then this process is called as eco branding. And if I talk about the social branding, it is different from eco branding. Social branding is different. How it is different? It is simply when you follow different or modern communication models or processes to promote a particular product, to promote a particular brand, to aware about a particular brand to the customers, to provide information about a particular brand to the customer. This referred to as social branding. So when you adopt modern communication models to build a strong relationship with the customers, to build a strong customer base, that referred to as social branding. Now coming to the next question, a specific group of people or organizations for which the seller designs a particular marketing mix is called. Option A, market segment. Option B, micro marketing. Option C, target market. Option D, niche marketing. Read the question carefully, guys. Question is, if the seller is targeting specific group of people or organization, and for that specific group of people or organization, seller designs a particular marketing mix. This refers to, is it market segment? Is it micro marketing? Is this target market or niche marketing? I know options are creating confusion, but still you have to attempt the question. If you have a good understanding of all the terms given in the options, you can easily identify the correct answer. So what will be the correct answer? Correct answer is option C, that is target market. Look, the market is known with the different terms. Total available market, served available market, target market, and penetrated market. Total available market, also known as total accessible market. When we are talking about the whole universe, whole market, mass, this refers to as total available market. Out of total available market, how many customers you are able to serve, how many customers you are able to reach, how many customers you are able to access with your sales channel, that refers to as served available market. Now, out of served available market, who are your potential buyers, how many potential buyers are there, this referred to as target market. So target market is the end consumer market to whom the company wants to actually sells the product. It consists of those groups, individuals, households, or organization for which the firms implement and maintain a specific marketing mix. It means the marketing mix are designed according to the needs and preferences of this particular group consist in the target market, right? Next is penetrated marketing. Penetrated marketing, your existing user base. This is penetrated marketing, right? So target market is a group of potential customers that you identify from your market segment to sell the product or service, right? So target market consists of those group of people or organization which are served with a particular marketing mix, because customers are having different viewpoint, different preferences, different needs. So to serve that needs or preferences, particular marketing mix when designed by the seller to target that particular group of consumer, that referred to as target market. So option C here is the correct answer. Now let's move to the next question. Marketing strategy that emphasizes price as the key to good value, operations run with tight cost control, development focused on cost reduction. Which of the Porter strategies illustrated here? Option A, differentiation. Option B, differentiation focus. Option C, cost focus. Option D, cost leadership. So question is related to Porter's generic strategies. You have to answer the correct strategy. Which strategy emphasize on tight cost control or cost reduction? वेरी इजी क्वेश्चन, एक्सपेक्टिंग करेक्ट आंसर फ्रॉम योर साइड. आपको स्ट्रैटेजी बतानी है कौन सी है जिसमें कॉस्ट कंट्रोल, कॉस्ट रिडक्शन की बात की जाती है. पॉटर की कौन सी जेनेरिक स्ट्रैटेजी है इन विच वी टॉक अबाउट द टाइट कॉस्ट कंट्रोल, कॉस्ट रिडक्शन और कॉस्ट कटिंग? So correct answer for this particular question is option D, that is cost leadership. As I told you, this particular question is related to the Porter's generic strategies. Porter identified four generic strategies. First is cost leadership strategy, then we have differentiation strategy, then we have cost focus strategy, and last is differentiation focus strategy. And you guys should have clear understanding about each and every strategy mentioned by the Porter. So first we talk about the cost leadership strategy. Cost leadership strategy means when a firm offer a product or service that is in high demand at the lowest possible price. That means a cost leadership is that strategy when the firm focus on making the operations more efficient by cost reduction or by making the tight cost controlling, right? So when you are focusing on the lowest possible prices, when you are providing the customers with the product and service at the lowest possible price, that refers to as cost leadership. Next is differentiation strategy. Differentiation strategy is when you offer a product or service that is in high demand but with unique characteristics. It means your product is different from your competitors, it is unique from your competitors, that referred to as differentiation strategy. Cost leadership strategy and differentiation strategy, these are both related to the general market. When your competitive scope is broad, then these type of marketing strategies are used. But when your competitive scope is narrow, when you are targeting the niche market, when you are targeting that particular segment of the target audience, then we follow cost focus strategy and differentiation focus strategy. So cost focus strategy is when you offer a particular product or service in a niche market and you ensure the lowest possible price, and differentiation focus is you offer a particular product or service in a niche market and your product or service has unique characteristics. But in the question we are not given with the target market or niche market hint. So here it means we assume that we are talking about the general market, competitive scope is more. That is why the answer is option D, that is cost leadership. Now let's move further. I hope guys you are enjoying the session, you are enjoying the discussion. If you are enjoying the discussion, please like the video. So question number 7 on our screen, arrange segmentation process given below in a successive order. Again, we have question related to the segmentation. We are given with the different steps of segmentation and you need to arrange them in a correct order. So first is segment positioning, second given is marketing mix strategy, third is need based segmentation, fourth is segment attractiveness, fifth is segment acid test, sixth is segment identification, and seventh is segment profitability. So you need to identify the correct code. So we need to arrange the steps in correct order. Let's try. We are given with segment positioning, market mix strategy, need based segmentation, segment attractiveness, segment acid test, segment identification. So according to me, need based segmentation or segment identification, either of these can be your first step. Now look at the code. In option B, third is given as a first step and sixth is given as your second step. So this option B seems to be correct. Look, need based segmentation is when you grouping your customer into segments based on the similar needs and benefits. So this one should be your first step in your segmentation process. Then you identify your segment. For each need based segment, determine which demographic or psychographic or usage behavior make the segment distinct and identifiable. And after that, segment attractiveness be your third step. It means using predetermined segment attractiveness criteria, you determine the overall attractiveness of each segment. And after that, segment profitability be your fourth step. And after determining the profitability of that particular segment, you will position a particular product in the minds of the customers. You will develop a mental position in the public consciousness. So segment positioning will be your fifth step. And after then, you will do the segment asset test. Segment asset test means you create a segment, a storyboard to test the attractiveness of each segment positioning strategy. And last step is marketing mix strategy. It means you expand your segment positioning strategy. You will develop your product, price, place, promotion, these 4 P's or these marketing mix ingredients efficiently and manage them effectively, right? So correct answer here is option B. Option B gives you the correct order for the segmentation process. Now moving to the next question. Successful service companies focus their attention on both their customers and their employees Which of the following link service firm's profit with employee customer satisfaction? Option A, international marketing. Option B, service profit chain. Option C, interactive marketing. Option D, service differentiation. Very easy question. Question में ही answer छुपा हुआ है. What should we call that link which is in between service firm's profit and employee customer satisfaction? So very simple, correct answer is option B, that is service profit chain. Service profit chain is a business model that illustrates the relationship between the various sector of businesses such as profitability, customer loyalty, employee satisfaction, productivity and loyalty, which leads to the business growth. So if the service firms focus their attention on both their customers and their employees, they maintain the relationship, they maintain a link between the firm's profit with employee satisfaction as well as with the customer satisfaction. This is referred to as service profit chain. Now moving to the next question, question number 9 on our screen. Providing a total package of related goods and services to solve a customer's needs is called option A, complete selling. Option B, wholesale selling. Option C, conglomerate selling. Option D, system selling. So what should we call that process where a firm provide a total package of related goods and services to solve a customer's needs? Is it complete selling? Is it wholesale selling? Should we call it as conglomerate selling or system selling? Share your answer, guys. Very easy question. So answer is going to be option D, that is system selling. System selling is a process of selling interrelated goods or services. When firms offer interrelated goods and services together as a package rather than selling them separately or independently, this referred to as system selling. That means selling a complete solution to a problem, selling a complete solution to a need rather than one or more of the component parts. For example, swimming pool manufacturer also sell landscaping, filtering equipment, pool chemicals, and etc. All other components as a package. Then this referred to as system selling. So system selling is process of selling interrelated goods and services to solve a customer need. Then complete selling, there is no such term. Wholesale selling is the act of selling the products in bulk to the retailers. Wholesale selling is simply when wholesaler offering the products to the retailer in a bulk at a discounted prices, that referred to as wholesale selling. Then conglomerate selling. Conglomerate is simply a term which is used for a corporation made up of several different independent businesses. Conglomerate is simply a company who owns a controlling stake in smaller companies, right? So correct answer is here is option D, that is system selling. Now moving to the last question of today's session, and increasingly a large number of firms are changing their organization focus from option A, brand management to customer relationship management, option B, product management to functional management, option C, product management to territory management, option D, territory management to functional management. You need to identify the correct answer. What is the main focus of the firms nowadays? What is the aim of the firms? So correct answer is option A, brand management to customer relationship management. Very simple. Customer is the king of the market. So main aim is to serve the customer. Ultimate aim is to serve the customer satisfaction. Right? So brand management to customer relationship management. What is customer relationship management? Customer relationship management is concerned with managing detailed information about the individual customers. If the firms are having detailed information about the individual customers, they are having all customer touch points, they can maximize the customer loyalty, they can better serve the customers. Also it helps in increase the long term relationship with the customers, it helps in increase the customer equity. So customer relationship management is managing the contact with the customers, collect, store, analyzing the customer information, what are the customers purchasing habits, what are the customers opinion, what are the customers preferences. When you analyze this type of information, when you collect, when you store this type of information, then you can effectively maximize the customer loyalty. So main focus nowadays the firms are having on the customer relationship management, maintaining a strong relationship with the customers so that you can maximize the customer equity, you can better serve to the customers. So here with this, we complete our discussion on MCQs and marketing management. Thank you guys. Please like, share and subscribe our channel. And in case if you have any query, you can drop a mail to us. So here signing off with the session. Bye bye and take care.